Let's get this zombie started. What's going on, guys? Vega here for SerpentX Tech. Another Saturday. Last Saturday I was unavailable. Thank you for your patience. This is Caffeine and Crypto. My name is Vega for SerpentX Tech. We're going to go over some crypto news. A lot went on over the past 2 weeks, but we're going to focus on this past week. Market's doing pretty good. Bitcoin looking pretty good. We're over 37K. Solana on a tear. ADA on a tear. Kaspa on a tear. A lot of different tokens on a tear, and this is just a good thing for all of us in the cryptocurrency ecosystem. To many of you who have hung strong as the markets ebb and flows, congratulations. I still think there might be some retracement to come in the future, but we'll just have to wait and see. Getting into the charts, looking primarily at Bitcoin, you can see we're hitting this resistance at that 37K, which is actually a legacy line. That purple line, which you can hardly see, is a legacy line going back to previous times where we were around this level, and that is a major resistance. And so if we fell right back down, maybe not right back down, right? Like, I don't think we might have a candle like we saw here on Monday, October 23rd, 2023, where we just had this increasingly, amount of short sales liquidated as this super long position came in, where we climbed all the way from around 29,000, or at the top of 29,000, all the way to 34,000. I don't think that's going to happen in the downward trajectory. I think there's a lot of buying pressure behind it right now. But if we did fall, if we moved sideways and increasingly fell over the days, it's because this chart is on the daily. We could probably fall back down to around 33K, maybe right below 34K if that was the case. Now, a lot of people are wanting a retracement back to the original levels in which we started out with. So around that 28K, maybe 30 to 28K would be a nice confirmation before we continue on in our upward trajectory. However, falling that far and the amount of buying support, I do not find likely. However, I do personally have positions there, not only stop losses, but buying positions to pick up at certain levels. For instance, I do have a buying position around that 34K mark. I have another position around that 32K mark. And then I have another position around the 29, 28 range. That's just me personally, not financial advice. But, you know, I like to pick up what others like to leave behind. What they say, one man's treasure is another man's trash, or one man's trash is another man's treasure, or vice versa, however you want to look at it. Now, real quick, just to bring you back in full circle as I try to go through everything for my future viewers, people who do not watch this live, so bear with me, my live viewers. We're going to talk about various bits and articles, but a lot happened, right? The whole Dynex situation, which is not really a situation with Dynex, but more of a situation with the miner dev. Can you fault them for taking advantage of the situation that was presented? You can understand both sides, pros and cons. I know there's always checks and balances, and sometimes those checks and balances don't pan out. And I thank Doctor for their years of service to the crypto mining community. I'm disappointed, but I understand. And at the same time, Son of a Tech did a really good job. If you haven't checked out that video, as far as advising or stating on multiple arenas, whether it was YouTube or social media, Twitter or X, or whatever you want to call it, you know, Dynex should be on a testnet. I do agree with that statement, right? You're still working out the kinks in your system. Therefore, you know, you're gonna, if somebody finds vulnerability before you yourself, your team can find it, they're gonna exploit it. It's just the same way that happens in the technology arena, period, right? Like hacks on networks, or your infrastructure for your company getting compromised because of the way you set it up, or maybe you didn't complete your checks and balances. So it's a catch-22, right? I like Dynex, I like SRB Miner, but SRB Miner Dev took advantage of a situation. Here we are. And their miner is going to be phased out. So if you haven't caught up with that, I have a more technical video on my channel, but there's a great wrap-up video on Son of a Tech's channel, and of course, a lot of your content creators or your favorites have created content on that. So moving on from that topic, you know, a lot of the news this week is primarily around Bitcoin, its growth, as well as some FTX drama still. Solana's pumping pretty good. Kaspa's looking really sexy right now. I'm not going to lie. You know, more ETF news, you know, arguments with the SEC, as we always will be. Is this an altcoin season? Which we're going to be throwing a poll. As I said, SBF XRP spike. So a lot of good things to talk about. And for some of the people impacted by the Celsius bankruptcy, I got some news about that for you. So if you like all of that, make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to stay subscribed and hit the notification bell. And I appreciate you stopping by. For my live viewers, good morning to you, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. All set. Sam Fisher, Rudd Putz, Gordon Murray. Hope you all doing good. Gandalf Gray, once again, thank you so much for all your help in communicating with me offline regarding the S9. I have not touched those hash boards yet, but I did confirm the PIC and the MOSFETs on the backside are doing good. It's just the chips themselves, so it's just diagnosing the chips. However, the user is not paying me for my work, and I need work that pays me, as you all know, as we have a build coming up. So I'm weighing out whether or not I'm going to dig deep into that. All right, so demand for Bitcoin could grow by up to 10x within 12 months, says Michael Saylor. Now, Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy co-founder, emphasized demand that Bitcoin would significantly ramp up following the halving next year, meaning in 2024. With the Bitcoin halving just months away, MicroStrategy co-founder Michael Saylor thinks that the demand for BTC could grow as much as 10x by the end of 2024. During the speech in 2023 Australia Crypto Convention on November 10th, which was yesterday, Saylor was asked to give his outlook on Bitcoin and its overall ecosystem for the next 4 to 5 years. In response, Saylor initially gave a rundown on the period between 2020 and 2024, noting that Bitcoin went from being seen as an offshore, unregulated asset to becoming a more institutionalized mainstream app. I like that, right? The mindset's changing. The thought process about Bitcoin is changing. Honing in on the near term, Saylor said that adolescent mainstream asset by the end of 2024. It will become an adolescent mainstream asset by the end of 2024. They also go on to say that I think in the next 12 months is going to be a big because demand on a monthly basis should double or triple or maybe even go up by a factor of 10, anywhere from 2 to 10. And the supply available for sale will be cut in half in April, right? The supply, right? The block size will be cut in half if the demand continues to climb. But the resource itself becomes more scarce, which is what Bitcoin is intended to do, among other things. That's going to be a positive for the Bitcoin ecosystem. So instead of billions of dollars of Bitcoin available for miners each month, it will be $500 million. It will be $500 million. It's pretty unprecedenting, that you would go from a supply and demand balance of maybe 15 billion of organic demand and 12 billion of organic supply. What happens when it doubles, when one doubles, or the other one cuts in half? The price is going to adjust up, he added. So just common logic, but Michael Saylor has always been a big proponent of Bitcoin in general, crypto assets, but not all of them. Most Bitcoin maxis are not fond of other assets or other cryptocurrencies, but there's a plethora out there that I do think have or will have a positive impact on the world in the future. We're just waiting and seeing what's going on. Taking a sip of my Doge Lord coffee real quick as we continue on. Looking at 2024, or looking to 2024 to 2028, Saylor predicted that Bitcoin would continue to be in a high growth stage as adoption spreads across the biggest tech industries and mega banks worldwide. That's the biggest thing for me. It's an international currency, meaning you can use it anywhere in the world, but it's not an international currency as far as everybody in the world is utilizing it or within the ecosystem. They're not exposed to the ecosystem. They just have some Bitcoin. It might be 0.0001. It might be 1 Bitcoin. It might be tens of thousands of Bitcoin, but not every single person is really utilizing Bitcoin. And I think people don't want to use their Bitcoin because they believe in it as a long-term store of wealth compared to the other situations, especially where we are in this world right now, where we have different nations warring with each other and uncertainty still upon us as our politicians continue to joust for various positions and do stupid things, even though we voted them into office to do better by the people. And I'm not talking about America. I'm talking about everywhere in general. These politicians that were voted into office or were placed there because they have a different system were intended to do right by their country, their people, or maybe if they're corrupt for their organization or their own means. And unfortunately, across the board, they're not doing what they were placed there to do. So we'll see how things pan out. But I'm interested not only in the 2024 elections here in the United States, but also in the 2024 Bitcoin halving. So we'll see how things pan out in the long run. But yeah, still bullish. Now we factor Bitcoin growing anywhere between, he said, 2 and 10x. So that's kind of a broad range. That's kind of like what Comcast would give you when they say we're going to be there between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. That's kind of a broad range. You're taking up most of my day with that. So it could be anywhere in that range. 2 to 10% is still significant. 2% is still significant, in my opinion, for Bitcoin. If we 2x from where we are right now, right, let's just round up to 40,000, we'll be up to 80,000, right? And that will be past the previous all-time high of Bitcoin, which is right around that 70K mark. And that's still good. But if we're talking 5x, 10x, now we're looking pretty spicy, right? And I see that as a possibly happening as Bitcoin ETFs start to roll out, as the political environment starts to get a little bit better. People, regulators start to understand that this asset is here to stay, and what we can do to benefit our economy / the world is what they should be targeting, instead of trying to condense it or push it down, because they want their fiat dollar to be the global reserve currency. But moving on, this week in coins, Bitcoin hits 18-month high. Solana market cap closes in on USDC. Now we're talking about, there's 2 tokens here. We haven't gotten to the second one that have flipped or closing in on their counterparts. And I'm talking about, and CoinMarketCap, by the way, I just want to say this isn't on the news for today, finally updated the Kaspa listing on their page, because their information and their math was wrong on there. So they finally updated. Let's see what Kaspa is ranked at. And I just want to say good job to the Kaspa team doing exactly what I mentioned when the ASICs were coming out, which was Kaspa is in trouble unless they can do X, Y, Z. Continue to push through, continue to build, and continue to expand their market. And they've done all of that, and they continue to do all of that. So kudos to the team. Just because there's a bunch of ASICs doesn't mean anything. And on top of that, now it just makes their infrastructure or network stronger having these ASICs on there. So perfect. So look, what are they ranked? I didn't see that. Where's their rank number? Did I miss it? Rank number. Number 34 by market cap. And I remember they were like 200 and something, maybe 100 and something. So good job, CoinMarketCap, for finally upgrading that. You can see the fear and greed index is around almost 80. So we're really greedy right now. So you can't blame SRB Miner, Dr. the dev of SRB Miner, for being greedy. He was making money, and he was making us more money as a miner. But ethically, it's a little bit something that I would frown at. But if you were in a position to do that, would you do the same? I'm willing to bet a majority of you would do the exact same. It's just the world we live in. You have to remove those opportunities from your ecosystem if you're a particular project. Anyways, we're not going to harp on that anymore. Look at that. Solana number 6, USDC number 7. But there's another token that flipped, and I think it may have fallen back down, and that is XRP. XRP is also climbing up to its sibling, BNB. And I thought it flipped it earlier. Maybe I'm tripping, but it's definitely catching up. That's one of the articles we're going to talk about here in a minute. But all this excitement, obviously, is bringing more funds into the ecosystem. Thus, we have, not only Bitcoin rising, but various altcoins rising. Now, Bitcoin's boom, most likely caused by the note from Bloomberg intelligence analysts saying that the United States Security and Exchange Commission, or the SEC, now has 8-day window to approve the applications for a Bitcoin ETF, brought the rest of the market with it. Well, that ETF news is definitely helping out. A number of big altcoins also saw gains, like Solana taking the lead and continuing a seemingly unstoppable rally on Friday. The coin was closing in on the USDC market cap, and is now comfortably above the $50 per coin market, or part, priced at 54.54 and more than 38% in a weekly rise. Now, right now, we're at 62, baby. And if you look at the chart, that's a steep climb right there over the past day, right? We were around the $50 mark yesterday, And let's just go back past 7 days. So the start of this week, we were around $40, right? We were around $40, and now we're up $20. So that's a significant increase on the coin. And there's a number of different things that I believe are contributing to that. However, I am not going to mention or state what those are because I am not 100% certain. I'm only certain on a couple other things. Solana's probably rising because Bitcoin's rising. We can easily say that. You know, most of these charts on the right-hand side match over the 7-day window. Like, they're following the same trajectory. Ethereum didn't. Like, it was like lagging hardcore and then caught up. But most of these charts are basically filing right behind Bitcoin or following right behind Bitcoin. Anyways, SO has been on a rally on its own. It's up 150% over the past 30 days. No other major coin or token has experienced gains like that. Experts told Decrypt that it's likely down to short squeeze caused by short sellers exiting their positions. Plus, the blockchain is fast and cheap. So there's renewed interest in the institutions. Now, remember, Solana took a huge hit with the whole FTX debacle because SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, had a huge hand in its building, right? Not a big part in where it's at now, but in the building aspect. And obviously, they devoted funds from Alameda FTX to the project to build, innovate, stuff like that. So when the FTX debacle happened, Solana took a hit as well. And on top of that, some of these institutions or companies that did stupid things like FTX are trying to sell their assets so that way they could repay back its debtors because of bankruptcy or whatever it might be. So we were getting pulled down, and are we past that? Or is this another opportunity for maybe some of those companies that still have some of these assets to sell again, bringing the market right back down to it so that way they can continue to pay back its debtors? Because I think it's an over time situation, not so much a once and done. But it goes on to talk about Ethereum. You know, it crossed the 2,000 mark. As I mentioned, it was lagging behind the rest of the market, and now it's pumping up pretty good. And then it talks about some other tokens. But Solana has definitely got my interest. Kaspa's definitely got my interest. Bitcoin always had my interest, and things are looking good. Moving on to Kaspa. It surged 20%, 1,520% reaches all-time high. Can it hit $1? Now, this is going to be a poll that I'm going to post in the live chat. If you guys don't watch me live, I am on live around 11 a.m. every Saturday. Some Saturdays, like last Saturday, where I was in D.C. for the Loco Tech event, I was unavailable to live stream, but I did live stream for you guys with Tech Hustler, Mr. Tech Hustler, if you get that right. But is Kaspa going to hit $1? Now, for my live stream viewers, you can vote yes or no. But for my people that watch this later on, feel free to comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are. We're going to go ahead and start that poll right now. Thank you for you guys coming and hanging out with me. Appreciate you very much. Got to be careful with locations for selling these newer coins. Lots of exchanges that support CAS have restrict U.S. access. That is 100% true. So I believe that's 7, I don't know if that's 7 how or 7HOU. So I'm just going to call you 7HOU or 7, okay? Forgive me if I mispronounced that incorrectly. But yes, I do 100% agree. Some of these exchanges that do support Kaspa are restricting U.S. Personnel, right? So you can't buy and sell, trade Kaspa on their exchanges. Now, I hope that Kaspa continues to push so that way U.S. exchanges can pick them up. But I understand how hard it is to work with inside the confines of the U.S. or the regulation or the political environment. So, Bybit, Gate, IO, KuCoin are the top 3 exchanges, which, by the way, we got some news about Bybit. We also got some news about Poloniex. Stay tuned and keep watching or listen, because this is a podcast type setup. You don't always have to watch, but watching does give you some visual pleasure. I'm not sure how you take that. Anyways, moving on. It's unfortunate, and we also had the situation with Trade Ogre, which still has not responded or provided any announcement whatsoever as what they're planning to do or what they will do. Right? Kaspa currency on that exchange has depegged, right? And people were taking advantage of it, and I talked about this in my previous video in early days, where they were buying Kaspa for cheap on their exchange, able to withdraw it when withdrawals were enabled, and then sell it at a higher price on a different exchange, making decent profits. That has been crushed. However, the price of Kaspa has depegged from its actual value on Trade Ogre specifically, not the rest of the market, but on Trade Ogre specifically. Unfortunately, people had hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of Kaspa on TradeOgre, and now they can't withdraw that Kaspa. And TradeOgre has not responded, despite our efforts to inform not only the community, but to inform the rest of the world of TradeOgre's bad actions, because it's not a hot take, because it's not an FTX, a Celsius, a Three Arrows Capital. No mainstream media is picking it up. Not that I'm going to do the whole fake news bullcrap, but I still think it's important. I know TradeOgre is not a #1 exchange. I know it's not a Binance, a Coinbase, or what have you, but it's still impacting the small guy, in my opinion. Maybe some large whales did utilize TradeOgre, but for me, it's more of a small guy thing, right? To sell my alts into a currency that I want to keep, Bitcoin, Litecoin, whatever it might be, USDT, and be able to convert my mining profits into that format with TradeOgre, which is a non-KYC and supported in the US. But now, because we have these smaller exchanges like that, just like Seven was saying, that winds up screwing us, or we can't get our money out, or whatever it might be. So it's very unfortunate. So you got to be careful. I would suggest storing your Kaspa in the KDX wallet, or a wallet in which you own the private keys to. I believe hardware wallets are being supported or planned to be supported in the future, so stay tuned for that. And then when the time comes, sell. But I know some people are mining with their ASICs and they need to pay it back, so they're trying to sell their mining profits, either daily, weekly, monthly, in order to cover their overhead. So it's a catch-22. Just be careful, be smart. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, and definitely don't mine directly to an exchange, because if that exchange goes down and you need that mining profits, you can't do anything about it. I know the fee sucks sometimes, but the fee for me on Kaspa for sending a transaction is not much compared to what it is on Ethereum and some other assets. Anyways, back to the story. You got me on a side topic here. Thank you, Seven. What's up, DJ Mines? Automatic Beats. Eric, how you doing? Appreciate you. You got some Kaspa stuck on TradeOgre too. I'm sorry, man. Good luck. 22's in the chat. Thanks to DJ Mines. So, Kaspa, the latest altcoin to grab investor attention, which it has, right? It had our attention, you and I. We had our attention on it for quite some time. We were mining it in the early days, really early days. But it has grown so well, even though it's been around for a while. A lot of people are only finding out about it now. It's grown so well that we might have new investors and new VC and capitalists getting involved. The project's reached an all-time high today, surging up 19% in the past 24 hours, over 66% in the previous week. The monthly charts, Kaspa has surged over 90% and is up 2,161% since last year. Moreover, since January 2023, the token's price has surged by over 1,520%. That chart looks sexy. I posted on Twitter. Look at this chart and tell me that wasn't a good choice to mine it or buy it or trade it or whatever you normally do, right? Not all of us are miners. Most of us, while I mine, I do believe that most of the community buys assets and then sells at a later date and time, or sells for to take profit. So instead of taking $13,000-$14,000 to buy an ASIC, some of you are just buying the Kaspa currency. You kept it for a little bit, and now that it's hit this target of 9 cents, almost 10 cents, if not already, you're looking pretty good. Because if you bought, let's just say, hang on one second. Let's just do some silly math. Bear with me here. So let's just say, how much is a Kaspa? Let's go to ASIC miner value, even though I don't like how they disowned my friends. Let's say a Kaspa KS3, 8 terahash version. What's the cost in one of these? So let's say 13,000, right? So 13,000 at the time divided by 0.00. And let's go back in time for Kaspa. Let's go back further than that. Let's say it was about 1.6 cents. Okay. So 1.6. That would be almost basically 800,000 Kaspa, right? So at that time, 800,000 Kaspa, when Kaspa was only 1 penny or 1.5 pennies. Now we times that by where it is now. It looks like it hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents. Oh my God, we were so close. Let's just say times 9 cents. right? So you spent 13,000 to get this ASIC, which is almost 800,000, or a little bit over 800,000 Kaspa. But instead of buying the ASIC, you now held that money, or held that Kaspa, right? And now it's 9 cents. You would have turned 13,000 into $73,000. So the video that my buddy SerpentX, which you haven't checked out already, I'm pretty sure you guys have, because we are one big happy family, talks about, you know, the proof, you know, is it still worth to mine Kaspa? Should you get ASIC, stuff like that? I don't have the money to spend 13,000. I don't have the money to spend 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. I'm sorry. I got more important things to worry about, like vehicles, my son's education, braces, all kinds of stuff, taking care of the household. However, I do work as best I can to do what I need to for the long term. SerpentX, real great video. You need to go check it out. Every Kaspa miner, is it still worth it? Here's proof. Ultimate breakdown of Ice Reaper, Kaspa, KS0 Pro, and more. Again, the counter argument to that is, well, instead of spending the thousands of dollars I would have spent on these miners, let's say you got the KS2 instead of the KS3, that's still, you know, 3,200. I think at the time it was like 4,000, like $4,500. If you spent that money and you bought Kaspa at 1.5 pennies and then you sold just now, that's a pretty decent amount. Like, let's divide that real quick. Let's just even it out. So 13,000 divided by, what are you doing? 13,000 divided by 73,000. What is that? That's basically an 80% gain. An 80% pump. As far as like, I don't know. So the argument of buying Kaspa instead of buying the ASIC is there. Like, I understand that. Very interesting. So I don't know. What is your counter argument? Let me know. Sound off in the live chat or in the comments below. I'm probably making no sense, and I thank you so much for you guys bearing with me and putting up with my crazy behind. Anyways, moving on. Kaspa's looking good. It talks about the circulating supply. It talks about the maximum number of tokens. It talks about the it's capped at 28. The number of tokens is capped at 28 billion, right? So there's a limited supply there. And the emission schedule, right? It's just going to make it more and more scarce. So as long as the team keeps doing what I've been saying that they look like they will do, like I have no bearing on whether or not they're going to do it. I'm just saying from the jump, ASICs looked bad, but in my video, if you actually listened to me in the past, I mentioned as they are in trouble if they don't do XYZ. And again, that XYZ I mentioned in that video as far as continuing to develop, continuing to improve, continuing to build, and continuing to push the market. And they've done all of the above. So good job. Now, in that article, it also talks about one of the reasons why Kaspa is surging. And I have two articles here that says the same thing. Parabolic. Kaspa KS price jumps 28% to new all-time high following exchange listing. And that is true. So they were listed on a newer exchange based in Korea. Coin One played a significant part in the price surge. The project also held an AMA session in Japan, boosting its popularity. Community members could engage with the team directly and ask questions about the project. And they have been hosting these AMAs on Twitter, on Discord, on various outlets. So if you're not paying attention to the Kaspa team, you should. I like the team. I don't know all of them personally. Some of them I do. But I like the team. And really, that's what I like to see in a cryptocurrency is I like to look at the developers behind it, the builders behind it. But I also like to see who is, you know, because the team isn't just a bunch of developers. There's obviously marketing and a number of different positions that the team has to hold or that would be beneficial for the team to hold, right? Like you need a marketing department. You need, you know, I don't know if you need a sales department in crypto, but maybe. You know, you got your CEO, CTO, you got your developers, you got your CFO, chief financial officer. So there's like a whole team to make your project successful. Obviously, it costs money to have those people. So when those people come on, especially in crypto and most businesses really, they're basically taking a pay cut from wherever they're coming from because they believe in the project. Hopefully they believe in the project long term. Some people won't won't take a pay cut until the project does well, but we'll see. But yeah, that South Korea exchange listing definitely helped out. And it talks in this article about the various aspects of or the key points of Kaspa. Ghost Dag, which, by the way, I'm kind of not confused, but the whole cementing the blocks or transactions until it's pruned kind of confuses me. But they're just pruning certain aspects. So I need to read, like, I remember it, but it's somewhere in the back of my head that I'm not picking up what I'm putting down. I'm not picking up what I'm putting down. That's so weird. So I think that was an ongoing joke this week, and I didn't keep up with it. But it was basically a reorg. But Kaspa cements after 24 hours, and then it prunes, and it might prune certain elements of the block, like the non-important parts. So cemented to prune makes me laugh, because if you cement something, you're making it permanent. But if it's able to be pruned, it's not permanent. I don't know. All right, I'm not making sense because I don't understand the full picture, or whatever I forgot in the back of my head from research back in the day is not coming out of my mouth, and I'm sorry. Maybe somebody will explain it to me, but I just need to readapt and re-educate myself on the situation. Other key points they talk about is just basically the price. Kaspa is recently, listed on the major exchange. Ghost Dag protocol allows the high throughput of around 1 block per second currently, with aspirations to reach 10 to 100 blocks per second. Kaspa features like block pruning, SPV proofs, and upcoming layer 2 subnet network support provide enhanced scalability compared to traditional blockchains. Again, the Coin1 listing, a subsequent price surge has propelled Kaspa to the top 30 cryptocurrencies. But market cap, I think it was already there. Like, I think it was already in or near the top 30. It's just CoinMarketCap wasn't updating. And I'm sure many of you, I think even DJ Mines called them out for it. It's like, update your crap. CoinGecko has it right. Update it. So yeah, anyways, I need to re-educate myself about block pruning and the whole cementing and the reorgs that I've seen not only in the past, but feels like I'm seeing it. I saw it recently. Also, I had an issue with my KDX. Again, probably not problems with Kaspa, but just some things that piqued my radar, and I need to go back and double check. But I've just been so busy. So maybe I'll find time today. I don't know. But the other night, when I launched the KDX app, I had some serious issues. It just wouldn't sync, and I couldn't figure out why. And I was wondering if anybody else was experiencing it, but it doesn't look like it was. It looks like it was just me, so we'll see. Moving on. Let's see, do we have a question? No questions. If you got any questions, please send a super chat or at me in the live chat. Appreciate you. ASICs keeping me alive. The bear market, says DJ Mines. Gordon Murray, pruning is permanent. That's how the chain is confirmed, by pruning the header. That's what I thought. It was just pruning the header of the block. Also, archival nodes do not prune. So, BlackRock just unleashed nuclear winners, sparking Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, and crypto price panic. When they say price panic, I think they're talking more or less about like people missing the boat, is what I feel like. And of course, it's just an audio expert here, but it talks about some of the same things we were mentioning as far as being bullish and stuff like that. But BlackRock argues SEC has no grounds to treat crypto futures as spot ETFs differently. BlackRock questions the SEC's preference for the 1940 Act that oversees future ETFs and argues that it lacks relevancy to both crypto spot and crypto ETFs. BlackRock has argued with the SEC once again, and it doesn't have any legitimate reason to treat the spot crypto and crypto futures or ETFs applications any differently. And BlackRock's plan for a spot Ether ETF called the iShares Ethereum Trust was officially confirmed on November 7th after NASDAQ submitted the 19B4 application form to the SEC on the firm's behalf. In this application, BlackRock called the SEC's treatment of spot crypto ETFs into question, as it asserted that the agency based its reason for continually denying these applications on incorrect regulatory distinctions between futures and spot ETFs. given the commission has approved ETFs that offer exposure to Ethereum futures, which themselves are priced based on the underlying spot ETF market, the sponsor believes that the commission must approve ETPs that offer exposure to spot ETFs. And you can see here a tweet from Jake Travinsky that talks, basically I took Scott's advice and read BlackRock's argument for the approval. It's very compelling. The argument flows with Grayscale's DC circuit victory. So, more challenges against the SEC using outdated acts or, calling to them to deny or postpone or prevent something in the crypto world. I think it's time to update, guys. Get off of Windows 95. It's time to move forward. So either way, this is bullish news, right? ETFs popping off, waiting for them to actually go through, waiting for them to actually come to life. But people are bullish and expecting the ETFs to come at any time. Probably Q2 2024, maybe later. We'll see. Now, this article, I do not have access because I do not have a pro CNBC subscription. Everything's subscriptions now. Have you noticed that? Everything is subscriptions. It's ridiculous. It's like so many monthly payments coming out of my checking account. Like, bro, Netflix, Amazon Prime, this, that, and the other thing. Oh, you want Hulu? Oh, you want to watch Loki on Disney? You need that too. You want to watch ESPN? Hey, I got an NFL Plus. It's like, God dang, man. All this stuff has been broken up, and I got to have a subscription for every single one. Killing me, bro. Killing me. Anyways, altcoins are finally joining the current Bitcoin rally as crypto investors turn risk on. I think the altcoins have been following Bitcoin. Not finally, but have been, at least on this recent uptick. It's just not all of them, or at least not all the ones that I guess the major news outlets will pay attention to. I don't know. That's just me. FTX sues crypto firm Bybit to recover assets worth $953 million. That's a pretty penny. And FTX claims that Bybit affiliate used VIP status to withdraw funds. Bybit's Marina withdrew $327 million just before the FTX pause. FTX bankruptcy advisors sued the crypto exchange Bybit FinTech Ltd and two corporate affiliates to recover cash and digital assets valued at roughly $953 billion that was withdrawn from SBF crypto exchange before it filed its Chapter 11 a year ago. Very smart. Very smart. But will they win this lawsuit? Because they're basically trying to claw back this money to help them pay its debtors or its creditors. So how would that pan out? I'm very intrigued. But just keep that on your radar, because I've seen Bybit. Bybit's reached out to me too to have the channel promote, sponsor, whatever. But I mean, I don't know. I just didn't go for it. I like Bybit. I just, you got to be careful, right? Right now, you got to be careful, right? A lot of people are in trouble because they promoted or sponsored an exchange. And if I did sponsor something that was questionable, I will always say, hey, today's sponsor is blah, blah, blah. I just want you to know that while they're sponsoring the content for today's video or live stream, that I would always encourage you, the end user, to store your crypto on your own wallets that you own the private keys to. And remember, not your keys, not your coins, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm going into that whole spiel. And will the sponsor like that? Will the company like that? Because I'm basically saying they're sponsoring the video, but then I'm telling people not to use them. Or maybe not use them all the time, right? Like, obviously, you got to use an exchange every once in a while to trade crypto and stuff. But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe Bybit, maybe we could get together. But as long as you're understanding that I'm going to be objective and who I always have been, and you're still cool with it, let's do it. But Bybit is the number 3 exchange for Kaspa. So, I mean, I wish you luck with the whole SBF trying to get its money back from you. But I don't know. Maybe I'll explore that later. I just don't want my community to think, oh, Vega's selling out. Like, I just always love to remain objective and just provide my opinion, whatever insight I can provide, and my thoughts on a particular matter. And then, you bring your own, the community, you bring your own opinions, and then we have a discussion, a constructive discussion, or provide constructive criticism to one another. Just, help build each other better. So maybe we'll see. SBF is guilty, and the industry he helped build, wants to move on. That's true. Now, if you haven't watched a video from CoffeeZilla that breaks down the current situation with the whole Sam Bankman-Fried, FTX, blah, 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 I didn't mean to defraud people, the defense and the prosecution, I would urge you to check that out. It basically does a pretty good job of kind of rounding the edges, so you're not getting, there's thousands of pages in the actual case, if not more. So you don't have to go through every nitty-gritty point, but it is well done, once again, by CoffeeZilla, who goes after individuals found to be doing stupid stuff like SBF. I know his flair, his unique personality can rub people the wrong way, but I personally I'm there for the information. Just give me the data and I'm out. Give me the facts and I'm out. And it's good to compare facts from one news source to another, or one content creator to another. Compare and contrast, do a little bit of research, and then build your own findings. But I would agree with the statement, of this article. We're ready to move on, man. Enough. I'm tired of it, bro. Let's move on. There's better things ahead of us. Let's move on. But SBF played a big role in a number of different crypto projects, and a decent role. I wouldn't say a big role, a decent role. I mean, let's say a small percentage in building crypto to where it is today, because really it comes down to a few key people that really built crypto the way it is today. But yeah, I'm ready to move on. I'm tired of hearing about it. I really am tired of hearing about it. XRP spikes 10% as several institutions adopt Ripple's services. Very interesting by this. Another one like Kaspa getting on CoinGecko, Solana flipping USDC. Now we got XRP on the heels of BNB as far as coin market cap or market capitalization. So we'll see. Prices rose 11% before slightly retreating on Monday, with trading volume spiking to 2 billion on Sunday and 1 billion in CoinGecko's data. At the time of writing, XRP is trading around 69 cents and replaced BNB as the fourth largest token by market capitalization. You can see here at time of this recording, it's fallen back down. So it was number 4. It's now back down to number 5. Will it regain that? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, now Ripple said Thursday that the Dubai Financial Services Authority approved XRP under its virtual assets regime, allowing licensed firms in Dubai International Financial Center, basically a sandbox, to incorporate and offer XRP to clients as part of their crypto services. Excuse me, so sorry. On the same day, the firm said that it would start working with National Bank of Georgia, NBG, and then another one, Digital Lari, and so on and so forth. So basically institutions in Dubai, like the Middle East, like that Dubai, Saudi Arabia area is really taking into crypto. And I still believe there's a lot of, I wouldn't call it old money, but new money, right? The illustrious, the financially well-off people in the oil heart of the world have that money, and they can come into the space, and I don't think all of them have. And if you imagine that amount of money coming into the space, woo, we'd be looking good. We'd be looking good. Just get sponsors that you recommend. Yeah, DJ, I got you, brother. All right, so ERT Ted says KDX does that from KDX does that from time to time, and I forget what they do, as I sold out when trade over was still about to for a market price. So yeah, you're talking about the KDX and what is it, compound transactions and stuff like that, or you're talking about something completely different? 7, I didn't get to see your message, you retracted it, but yeah. All right, what else, Gordon? You can go see it yourself. Let's see here. Oh, you guys are talking to each other. All right, cool. XRP is Fiat 2.0. Yeah. Well, I mean, that was their design. That was their intent from the beginning, is to work with banks in the financial sector to use our XRP in the blockchain to basically run the same system that we have, but better. Financial failure. Does anyone use Uphold for Kaspa? I do have Uphold financial failure, but I do not use it for Kaspa. No, I use it for BAT. If you're also trying to get my attention, please at me or send a super chat if you can afford it. But we're all broke, so don't worry about it. But just definitely at me in the live chat. Court confirms Celsius bankruptcy exit plan. $2 billion in crypto to go to creditors. So I've been keeping up with this, and I've been posting updates not only on my channel but my Twitter. If you're not following me on Twitter or X, because I was impacted by this as well. I'm not gonna lie, I was impacted. It's not life threatening. It's not, oh my God, end of the world threatening, but I was impacted as well, and I know many of my colleagues who actually had more in there. Now, it looks like the bankruptcy plan has been approved, and the path now is clear for customers to see some of their funds returned and receive shares in the reorganized company, which will be called NewCo. So NewCo, NEWCO. Pay attention to that, right? Because when you have a lot of these companies that were ran by individuals who defrauded you, they would just rebrand, go to bankruptcy, rebrand, and do it all over again. Bankruptcy, rebrand, do it all over again. So it's NewCo, NEWCO. Be careful. But the judge, Martin Glenn of the Southern District of New York Bankruptcy Court, issued a confirmation on November 9th that the bankruptcy was plan was approved by Celsius creditors overwhelmingly on September 27th. Under the plan, around $2 billion in Bitcoin and Ethereum will be distributed to Celsius creditors along with the equity in NewCo. So now we're talking about, I guess, the bigger people that played a part in Celsius, the bigger people that had significant amount of investment into Celsius. We're not talking about you and I and our little piddly little cryptocurrency assets. The company has said it's hoped to begin reimbursement of creditors by the end of the year. NewCo will expand its existing mining operations of former crypto lender Celsius. It will also monetize illiquid Celsius assets and conduct other development activities such as subject to regulatory approval. NewCo will be managed by Fahrenheit Consortium, made up of several crypto-native persons and organizations. One of the consortium members is Proof Group, which is reportedly also bidding for FTX. So that's interesting, actually. That's very interesting. I like how we don't get counted. I like how the little people don't get counted in the overall grand scheme of things. Yeah, we lost $300 million worth of our clients' funds. Most of it's going to go to the freaking people that invested in us and spent money with us. But no, the little people get screwed. Anyways, they're cleared to exit bankruptcy. Creditors are going to get paid. Will there be any money at the end for us? Probably not. I've seen this before with other bankruptcies. Like, for example, there was and this is why I say if you're in IT, and I know there's different areas of IT, so I'm just going to blanket term it. If you're in IT, never work for a bank, never work for a school or a church, because they never pay you, right? If you do, you're doing good faith work. You're trying to help the organization, and a lot of times, they might seem like they're good people, right? Use whatever religion or whatever tactics to kind of lure you in and get you to trust them. Hey, we'll pay you back, or we'll do this or that. Well, guess what? They always seem to screw you over and not pay you. One of the schools that I work for, to declare bankruptcy, owed me about 8-10 grand, owed my family member about 10 to 20 grand. And of course, everybody that they owed money to that were big organizations, maybe investors, creditors, whatever, got their money. But the little people, the people that worked and made that building what it was and kept it running, didn't get squat. So just be aware, if you're involved with the Celsius thing, you're probably not going to get anything. Might as well write it off. So, financial failure, $10. Thank you so much. Thanks, man. Wag me. Nothing more to say. Is it wag me or wag my? Isn't there a bunch of those coins? Yeah, that thing's dead. I think I have a little bit of that too. This token, I was just playing around one day and I got a little bit of this token, but It ain't nothing. Most of them aren't. We're all gonna make it. Just in case you didn't know what it means. One day we will. One day. Anyways, moving on. I just want to make sure that this is on your radar as well. November 10th, Poloniex hot wallets hacked with 114 million seemingly stolen on chain. So, the reason in CoinMarketCap, and I'm not sure if you picked up on it, maybe the astute of you, the keen-eyed of you did, but if we look at Kaspa and I went to markets, you will see this little icon right here. And you see reserve data not available. Okay? Well, this exchange, right? Reserve data unavailable. This exchange, according to this article, had their hot wallet hacked and 114 million was lost. So just FYI. Okay? No, I did that a while ago, dude. When did it come out? So what I do, by the way, there's a couple different tricks. Not all of them pan out. When did this come out? Yeah, this was in May. So this was like before this chart even started tracking, right? I look for assets that are brand new because what happens is everybody automates their purchases. Most of the purchases and most of the whales you see, it's all automated, right? A new token comes out, smart contract. They go and they quickly dump into it, pumps the price, and they quickly, sandwich trade and get out of it. And there's some tools that I use to track those. And I saw a bunch of whales getting into it. And then I got out of it before they did. But I kept some left over, which obviously is valued at crap. But yeah, I kept some left over. I would not recommend doing that, right? Because 9 times out of 10, you're going to be left holding the bag and then the asset's going to be worth nothing. But I got it right just this once. So out of 1 out of 10 times, I got it right. The rest, I don't care. And, it's just play money. Play money, right? When you got play money, you just play around with it. And when I'm talking about play money, we're talking like $20, guys. 20, $30. Nothing substantial. I know some play money to some of these other cats is like tens of thousands of dollars. I'm a millionaire. I'm a billionaire. What's $10,000 to me? That's play money. Like, for me, play money is like a Big Mac or the dollar menu at McDonald's. That's play money. But that's because we broke. There's actually a term that my friend and I coined. It's called BNA, but I can't say it. Okay? I'm Puerto Rican. My dad, my father, not my biological father, was also my biological father was Puerto Rican. My stepdad of 22 years in the Army, just as well as my biological dad in the Army as well. Went to Vietnam, Desert War, or the Gulf War. I can't say the middle initial. Not online. I do say it when I'm with my homies, but I'm not going to say it with you guys. Because I don't want to say it out loud, but most of you are white. Oh, did I say that? I'm sorry. My bad. But I do have my card. I just want to say that. I have my card. And I can say it. You can't say it, but I can say it. If you guys don't know what the heck I'm talking about, you don't know what I'm talking about. Anyways, moving on. Is there really a tinfoil hat that Jay's 2 cents mentioned that the 4090s that Nvidia is offering is being pulled back so they can make the Super because it's going to use the same chip? Is that really something like, or are we tripping? I'm not sure. I didn't pay attention to the full video of Jay's 2 cents, but yeah. Check out Jay's 2 cents video. Let's go look at it because we're waiting for Red Panda right now. We're not gonna watch the video, but let's see here. Red Panda. Let's go look up Jay's 2 cents. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Tell the truth. So Nvidia added again. It's about 15 minutes. People have noticed the 4090 cards have been going up in price and becoming scarce in the market, but why? And, you know, Nvidia is planning to announce the 40 series, the Super, at CES 2024. I think this is a rumor. All right, this is a rumor by Copite. As always, usually pretty reliable. We got the 4080 Super, the 4070 Ti Super, and the 4070 Super. All right, we should have improved variants of the previous revision. Kind of like skimming the bottom of the barrel, though, Nvidia. Like, we want something new. We want the 5000 series to be X amount efficient, but still, you know, provide the 15 to 25% increased performance in ray tracing games, yada, 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 FPS, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah. But I feel like all vendors, CPU and GPU, and all manufacturers, or Nvidia, Intel, AMD, are all kind of like, they can only do so much, and we're at a point now where in order to get an increase in performance, we have to push a lot of power rather than making it more efficient to obtain the same amount of performance lift, but with less power draw. Hopefully the next series will, like the 14900KS is a perfect example. AMD's latest GPUs is a perfect example. The 40 series is a perfect example. The AMD CPUs is better, but is an example as well. Like, it feels like, you know, Moore's Law is not only dead, but it's just so much harder to get to this level. There's an ad that's about to drop on you guys, but we're getting ready to wrap up. I'm just chilling right now and hanging out till Red Panda Mining goes live in about 1 minute. So if the ad plays for you, I'm sorry for the interruption. Otherwise, hang out. Do you guys got any questions? It's all you, baby. What you got? Anybody got any questions? Actually, let's end the poll real quick. All right. So, ad's going to play in 20 seconds is what YouTube's saying. Is Kaspa going to hit $1? 44% say no. 27% says yes. And 27% says maybe. 40 votes. That's actually not bad. I actually have another. One on Twitter. Let's see here. Twitter. What did I do with my poll? Oh, shoot. That was a good picture. Hey, it's Tron Black and Bits Be Trippin'. Looks like they're on the ship, about to watch a show, sitting down with Tron Black on Raven at Sea to talk about Raven coin development. They look like they're having fun. That's what's up. All right. Anyways, where's that poll? What do I do with the poll? Basically, the poll is asking, are we out of the bear market? By the way, if you haven't gotten your tickets for Mind Disrupt, I will be there. You can go get your tickets at a discounted rate through the link I just provided in the live chat. I'll post it in the comment section right now. And if you want to help with the upcoming crypto build, I also posted the Twitter post where you can donate. But do not donate unless you have the funds. Let's see here. Come hang out with us at Mining Disrupt. I believe Hawk Crypto has been announced as a media partner, so is Mr. Tech Hustler and a number of others. So I'll be interested to meet you guys. It was nice to meet some of you there. I look forward to another, and I'm going to probably bring the wife with me. I look forward to bringing her with me. White girl with attitude, so don't be alarmed. But don't be disrespectful, because she's vicious. But that's why I love her. Anyways, I posted a question here asking, like, are we out of the bear market, basically? And 47% says no still. We're still not there. We're still not completely out of the bear market. But we're doing really, really good. Would you guys agree with that sentiment? You know, is this pump up, right? Let's measure this pump real quick. Is this pump up of almost 40% not validation that we're out of the bear market? That's what the community's telling me. What are your thoughts? Red Panda is starting with you. All right, good deal. Still there, just listening. All right, cool. All right, Red Panda's going live. I'm going to redirect you guys over there. Make sure you hit the like button. If you want your Mounting Disrupt tickets, make sure you click the link. Nerd Beast. It is wrong to think that if the entire crypto market goes 10x in the future and everything staying equal, then Kaspa could 10x from here. Serious question. Is it wrong to think that if the entire crypto market goes 10x in the future and everything staying equal, that Kaspa could 10x from here? No, it's not wrong. Kaspa could 10x. It really comes down to, do you believe in, again, the project itself, the team that's building it, and in the long-term viability and future of Kaspa? What is Kaspa doing differently than what Bitcoin? Because you don't want to say your project is a competitor to Bitcoin. You want to say it's a completely separate entity that is going to help the world because of XYZ. But it's not wrong to think that if the entire crypto market 10x's, and I don't think the entire crypto market would 10x, I think it was just Bitcoin and a few others, just to answer your question. But it is a serious thing, and Kaspa could at least 2 to 5x, maybe not 10x, but 2 to 5x if we're looking in the future, because the supply is going down, the emission schedule is still there, and the demand is increasing. And we have the added boost of the network security because of ASICs. Nerd Beast, everything staying equal, meaning, yeah, okay, I already answered that. What do you recommend for Kaspa? I'm new to it and I prefer core QT wallets. I like KDX wallet. I really do like the KDX wallet. Kaspa Crypto. Go to their website and go down to resources, Kaspa wallets, and I like the KDX wallet. Now, if you want the mobile wallet, you can do that, but I personally like, you get yourself the KDX wallet. It looks like they have a Caspian mobile wallet, which is kind of like the KDX wallet. But remember, when you're on a mobile phone, you are the weakest link. If your phone gets compromised, that's where you get in trouble. So good luck to you there. All right, guys, head on over to Red Panda Mining. I'm going to redirect you right now. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Appreciate you stopping by. Do me a favor, though. Hit the like button on the way out. Make sure to get subscribed if you're not already. Make sure to hit the notification bell to stay up to date. And don't forget that later today at 2 p.m., Chump Change will be going live. And we're talking about live to talk with developers of Logotech. Now, I don't think they're going to have all, they're going to have if they're having the same devs that we know or that we met in our recent trip, I don't think they're going to be able to answer every single question that I had, which is regarding power delivery, PCB design, layout, electrical design. I don't think they're going to have the people there that I would like to talk to, but I'm going to be listening in while I work. Go check it out and ask your tough questions of the Logotech team. Bear with them. Not everything could be out in the open just yet. The chip is real. The actual hash blade is designed theoretically, but not production ready yet. So we'll have to wait to see how things pan out. But head over to Red Panda Mining. I'll catch you guys later. Take care.